I want to talk to you today about believing for a supernatural year. So often we get limited in our thinking. We don't think we'll ever accomplish our dreams. We don't have the talent, the connections, the funds. We don't think a marriage could ever be restored. There's too much water under the bridge. Or maybe we don't think we'll ever get out of debt. We're so far down in the hole. But the problem is we're just looking at it in the natural. We're looking at it from a limited perspective. We have to realize God is a supernatural God. And just because we don't see a way doesn't mean that God doesn't have a way. Well, you say, Joel, if I make this same income the rest of my life, I won't get out of debt until I'm 122 years old. Yes, but you're ruling out supernatural increase. God can bring one opportunity across your path that will thrust you to a new level. He has explosive blessings that can blast you out of debt and into abundance. Well, I don't think I'll ever get well. You should see what the medical report says about me. No, that may be true according to medical science, but we have another report, and it says you will live and not die. God is restoring health unto you. The question is, whose report will you believe? With men, it may be impossible, but with God, all things are possible. And some of you today, you're planning on having an average year, but God's already lined up an extraordinary year. You're planning on getting by, but God's planning on abundance. He's planning on overflow. You're thinking, if I can just survive, but God is saying, it's time to thrive. You got to get in agreement with God. God has supernatural favor in store for every one of you. He has supernatural opportunities, supernatural healing, supernatural restoration. God wants to do unusual things in your life. And you need to have an expectancy down in here, an excitement in your spirit. This is not going to be an average year. It's not going to be a mediocre year. It's going to be a supernatural year. A year where you see dreams come to pass. A year where you discover talent that you didn't even know you had. A year where you get stronger and healthier. It's going to be a year where we look back and say, wow, God outdid himself this year. And when you hear this truth, when God tries to plant a new seed, a promise in your heart, 3 words you need to respond with. Don't complicate it. Don't try to figure out all the reasons why it's not going to happen for you. No, just 3 simple words. Lord, I believe. You may be sick, but God says you're going to be well. Lord, I believe. You may be in debt, but God says you're coming out. You're coming into overflow. You're going to lend and not borrow. Lord, I believe. The economy may be down, but God says you're going to see supernatural increase, supernatural promotion, explosive blessings. Well, Joel, I think you've got the wrong message. I don't see how I could be blessed this year. No, zip that up. Get in agreement with God. Let the seed take root. God is saying, this is your year for far and beyond favor. This is your year to see the fulfillment of your dreams. It's your year for supernatural opportunities. You may not see how it could happen, but that's okay. God has 1,000 different ways to bring your dreams to pass. We think natural, God thinks supernatural. God is saying, I am all powerful. I can turn any situation around. It doesn't matter what it looks like in the natural. He is a supernatural God. The Amplified Version puts it this way. Is there anything too wonderful for the Lord? Sometimes when we hear stories like these, we think that's just too good to be true. A friend gave you funds to pay off a building project, or somebody you didn't even know gave you a swimming pool. Our mind says, no way, that's impossible. But notice what kind of God we serve. He said, is there anything too wonderful for me? He's saying, if you'll take the limits off of me, I'll amaze you with my goodness. I'll not only meet your needs, I'll take it one step further. I'll give you the desires of your heart. One translation says, the secret petitions of your heart. That is, those hidden dreams, those secret desires, those promises that you haven't told anybody about. It's just between you and God. Know this today. God wants to bring your secret petitions to pass. When you believe, it sets a series of events into motion. God gave that couple a desire to want to be good to my parents. Here they were in another state, minding their own business. All of a sudden, they feel an impression to come to Houston. They have the idea of all things to give them a swimming pool. Why not just make a donation? Give them money, give them stock. No, God wants to give you the desires of your heart.